Hey everyone, today we're going to talk about putting on treble hooks and replacing hooks from lures you already got. So if you're a lure fisherman or you make lures, this is an important skill to have, especially if you make your own lures, because you need to be able to have an efficient and really safe way to get hooks on your lures. Oh, and stick around to the end because I'm going to make an announcement about the lure giveaway, and I might give you a tip on what I'm going to do on the next lure build. Alright, so whether you're fishing with tiny little micro crankbaits or chasing sea monsters with some honkin' trolling lure like this, you're going to have to eventually change those hooks, and you're going to need a tool to do it with. So typically, folks will use a split ring pair of pliers. These pliers have this single snaggle tooth at the end meant to split open your split ring. And these things are offered up in a lot of different sizes and configurations. You don't have to buy anything really very special. In fact, if you're only removing hooks that are on lures that are already there, a pair of small needle nose pliers with a good friction surface on it will do the trick. But I find using the smallest split ring pliers that you can comfortably fit in your hand is the most efficient and safe way to do it. A pair of pliers that puts your hands a fair distance away from the work limits your control, and control is everything, because if you're a little bit clumsy doing this, you'll end up burying that hook in your hand. You don't want to do that. The other thing you're going to need to do is decide whether you want to match the same treble hook that the lure came with, or if you want to go up a size or down a size. And for that, I recommend you have a hook size chart, and this is real nice. I printed this off the Netcraft website, and I like this because it's actual size. So you can lay your hook right on top of the little diagram and know what size hook you have, and maybe know what size hook you want to go to. Now, I've been using this small split ring plier for a long time. Actually, I found these online for less than $1 a piece, believe it or not, and I bought like 6 or 7 of them. I'm down to my last couple. They'll rust out on you if you take them on the boat, but they're great for in the shop, and even freshwater they last pretty good, but saltwater they get destroyed. And if you look really close, you can see that little snaggle tooth is a little bit small, and on this one a little bit worn out. And while this works really well for me, if I'm moving up to a larger size split ring, like anything bigger than a number 3 or number 4, especially if I'm using XX strong split rings, it really becomes a challenge for this little one. But at the same time, a pair of pliers with a tooth this big tends to be a little too much for most of the lures I use. If you're using split rings that are number 4 or greater, it's probably a good idea to have a pair of pliers with a big tooth. It opens up the gap for you nice and big, so you can get those big hooks on there. But all in all, this is my favorite pair of pliers. They're made by Booms, and I find them to be just the right size. They fit nice in my hand. They have the spring return. The little snaggle is right about the right size for just about anything I'll ever use. And it's all stainless steel, so I can carry one of these things on my boat and not worry that it'll end up rusted out in a couple of months. Alright, so how do I know when these hooks are needing replacement? Forget about the fact that a lot of people will take a lure straight out of the box and replace the hooks because they don't have any confidence that the hook is sharp enough. I personally use the hooks that come with lures unless it's like a really inexpensive Chinese lure. So a lot of folks will just check to see how sharp the hook is, and you can do the trick on your fingernail, and if it catches on your fingernail, it's really sharp. You can just feel how sticky it is, how easy it catches on your finger. What I like to do is take a close look at the hook and see if there's any rust starting. Because even at the very beginning of surface rust, the tip is going to be the part that suffers the most. And just a little bit of surface rust on the tip really can dull it out enough to warrant a change. Now, to be totally honest, I have lures in my box that have hooks that are just bleeding rust, and I just haven't gotten around to change them. But I will do that every 2 or 3 months. I'll open my box and I'll change out all the hooks on all the lures that I use the most. Alright, so let me just show you the technique for using the split ring pliers. So essentially what you want to do is grab that split ring so you're opening the ring up and giving yourself about a 1/16 or 1.5 millimeters between the end of that open wire and your pliers. And then you want to hold your hook so you're really controlling the hook and not allowing those sharp ends to go anywhere you don't want them to go. Now you notice I'm driving the split ring on with my finger, so at no point I'm driving with my hand and risking actually impaling myself. So I just drive it on with my finger and then give it a twist. And now the hook has gotten started onto the split ring, and the rest is easy. You just want to place that open part of the split ring onto your hook eye. I'm doing this very slowly because I just want to show you how to stay safe. So as you rotate grab onto the hook so it's not going to go anywhere if you slip. And then you continue to rotate your split ring until it all falls in place. Now removing it is just the reverse, and keeping control of the hook as you actually force the split ring off is key so that you don't hook yourself. So now you know how to put a hook on a lure that doesn't have any hooks on it. Let me show you the shortcut for replacing a hook that's already on a lure. Alright, I've gone ahead and put both of these hooks on, and now let's just say that I want to replace this tail hook with this smaller saltwater hook. So you can do it all in one fell swoop. You'll take your split ring pliers and you'll split your ring and begin to move the existing hook out onto the ring. You'll hold it right there when you've got about a millimeter back from the end of the ring, and then you take your new hook and slide it onto that gap. And then carefully holding the hook steady so that you don't slip and end up getting two hooks in you, you begin to rotate the whole deal around, and what happens is the existing hook falls off and your new hook is on. And of course I'm doing all this really slowly so that you can see how I do it, but the key really is to keep control of both the hook and your pliers and not allow yourself to sort of wildly push with your tools. Alright, thanks for tuning in for this short video. I wanted to let you know that I wanted to make a short video that I could post early, bring the lure giveaway contest to an end, because we got some hackers in there and I just want to end that. So on the next video, I'll announce who the winner is. And so you have until today at midnight to make your guess on what the weight of that fish was. Thanks everybody for watching. I just want to let you know that I'm going to miss this Friday too. I'm heading down to a little long weekend getaway with a buddy of mine, and hopefully I'll get some fishing in and maybe we'll get some footage. If I do, I'll just post it either on the community or I'll make a short video for the channel. Alright, I'll see you probably in about 10 days.
For the next lure build, I've given myself a little bit of a dollar store challenge, and I'll be making a lure out of a creature kind of like this.
Alright, so let me show you how you... Alright, so let me show you just the typical usage for... Alright, so let me just show you the typical...